Once upon a time, many, many years ago, I was in a play. The play was Anne of Green Gables from L.M. Montgomery's novel, and I played the part of old Matthew Cuthbert, the man of the house that took the orphan in. The choreographer who taught me to do a very simple dance, remember I was a country farmer and I was not supposed to look like Baryshnikov, I just clomped around the stage for a few moments, had a boyfriend who was a reporter here in Nelson. And he wanted to do an interview with me. So after the play was over, he interviewed me. It was a long interview, and it didn't deal much with theater, and it hardly dealt with music, except that he called me a musician, which I was embarrassed to read because I didn't think of myself as that knowledgeable a musician. I knew how to chord a guitar and chord on the piano and chord on a 5-string banjo, as well as sing, but that was about it. And in my book, because I'd been a school teacher, that really did not classify me as a musician. But anyway, I enjoyed the interview, and he enjoyed the interview, and at the end of it, he asked me what I thought of the world as it was now. And I was blank in my head, and then the thought came in, well, it seems to me that it's becoming more medieval. We're going back to the Middle Ages. And he put that in the paper. Well, then for years and years and years, I wondered why I had said that. The only reason I could think of was because that was 1975, and there were still a lot of young men wearing their hair long down to their shoulders, as people did in the Middle Ages. Well, when I was getting ready to do this filming the other day, I was thinking, this interview came into my mind, and I thought, oh, now I know why I said we're going back to the Middle Ages. Because what I just played on the keyboard is known in musical circles, to those who really know a lot of music, as Mode 1 from Gregorian chant, and before Gregorian chant to the Hebrew chant, and before Hebrew chant to the Greek modes that have been around, at least we think, for 3,000 years. And after those modes were invented, and as they were taught for at least 2,000 years or 2,500 years, music was said to be a branch of arithmetic or mathematics. Well, around 1500, this custom started to slip away. Music got very complicated. Europe got dissolved into many different factions, religious-wise, language-wise, and music theory-wise, so that ancient rule, which works extremely well when you get to understand it, is no longer really followed. And what we're doing here is hopefully restoring mathematics to its original mothering of anything in music that makes sense.